moments that made changes, that was the sort of thing. Remember what you like doing and just do it.
As a kid, did the farm feel like possibility or obligation?
That's a very key part of how to get success, is that you try and avoid all failures, because if it is failing, you make sure you fix it and get to the end there. So, working 100 hours plus a week is something you can do. Doing my bit in that area is important why I do it. That's probably another one where a lot of the time it's not economically viable, but it's very, very important to me to do that.
Family changes the temperature of a room. How does family change the temperature of your business meetings?
Going through the whole system, right the way from growing and growing it ourselves, our own fields, with other farmers, what works for them, trying to make sure we're looking for the future and the long term there. So we're setting up, thinking like 5-6 years ahead all the time. One of the key defining things is, what would I feel like if I didn't take this on? I could do it. You have to react to the bully in the playground that comes up and punches you in the face. You've got to punch them back.
Before we get into this conversation with Phil Rayner, I wanted to give you a little bit of context about why I'm so excited to share this interview with you. Philip is the owner and managing director of Glebe Farm, a brilliant British product business that's gone from family farming roots to becoming the only UK farm growing and processing gluten-free oats into oat flakes, granola, porridge, and an award-winning oat drink range. What I love about this conversation is it's not just a founder story. It's about control, commercial decision-making, and long-term thinking. Glebe Farm is a business that's built so much of its strength by owning the chain from field to finished product. And that creates a very different type of brand, especially when you're selling through retail, e-commerce, and marketplaces like Amazon. They're also a client of ours through Sell Beyond, the consultancy practice I founded to support amazing businesses like this scale profitably on Amazon. So we've had the privilege of seeing behind the scenes about how this business really works. Our work is focused on helping Phil and his team grow their market share on Amazon through making better commercial decisions. So as you hear Philip's story, listen out for the way he thinks. Engineer, farmer, and entrepreneur all at once, because that mindset, as well as their long-term strategic vision for creating positive impact, is exactly what makes this business so interesting. Hello, I'm Heloise Finch. Welcome to Tell Beyond, the podcast that asks extraordinary people to share their unfiltered and uplifting stories from life and business to lift you up and help you rethink what's possible. Today, we're talking to someone who grew up on the family farm, went on to excel academically, studying engineering at Cambridge and completing a PhD in microengineering and nanotechnology, before returning home to become the owner and managing director of Glebe Farms, the only UK farm to grow and process gluten-free oats into oat flakes, flours, and an award-winning oat drink range, Pure Oaty. Welcome, Philip.
Thank you, Heloise. Thank you.
Entrepreneur, farmer, engineer. Listening to that intro, you make it sound almost easy to be all of those three. What's the hardest for you?
Well, to be honest, most of the time I don't even think about it. It's not something you consciously hold in your mind what you do. It's almost you do what you want to do to kind of fulfill what's best. What you're doing actually. So
you're able to shift gears between those roles.
Yeah, but there is also an element of keeping yourself keeping yourself up in with your interests as well. So there are quite a few things there, and how you actually it's doing what you want to do as well. there is so driving yourself to go and do particular things. No, we do it because we want to get the business going, have a love of farming, have a love of science and engineering as well. And so you create your own little world of doing things where you can hopefully fulfill some of those things. And we were talking earlier on about in fact what drives people to do stuff. You have just certain wants and needs. We were saying about itches that you want to scratch as well, so that you just want to be able to. I think driven that, yeah.
Do all three when it suits you.
It's a bit philosophical, but it is, and how your mind works. I do have got quite a lot of interest in that as well. Yeah.
So, when you think about the farm now and the farm you grew up on, what's the first image that comes to your mind? Not necessarily the nicest image, but the most persistent of the farm that you grew up on.
God, this is hard because I don't normally look backwards. we were always doing things, always moving. So even with so my dad and mum, we were always developing things new. So that's a constant theme. Okay, so the physics and and blazes and sentiment, we don't worry about that much. It's actually just carrying on and doing more and more and fulfilling what we want to do. That's
Filling
the
it.
fun. That's the fun part.
Not looking back, no sentiment,
No.
get on with it.
That's right. I mean, we remember what we did. It was all good fun, and there were always things happening and always things moving forward. And it's just, that's the feeling of doing things.
So as a
It's
kid,
a feeling, feeling rather than that,
Yeah.
rather than particular things, yeah.
As a kid, did the farm feel like possibility or obligation?
Oh God, I just think possibility, really. Yeah, oh God, trying to look back at the history. I think Dad wanted his farm. He was a bit sort of slightly thinking how we're going to do. That's why he wanted to have kids. He married very late in life, probably about 40s actually, early 40s, and then so had us quite late, and it gave him a big boost as well. And then my sister and I, so it's not just one of us. There's actually two of us. My sister is very important in the whole development of our business as well. And to say, she's effectively done the first 15 years, and I did probably the second. There's overlapping as well. Say the second 15 years as well. So it is that sort of tag team, and then being inspired by other people as well. That's a critical bit of it. But so possibility is always there. That's absolutely the key bit about it. Yeah.
From that perspective, did you always feel that this place has a claim on me? Your dad was thinking about who was going to be in the next generation. Did you always feel there'd be
No, I always had love for it, but not claim. Yeah, it's not. No sentiment on we'll try to avoid sentiment on things, but there is in the background. But it's and it's very important to who we are, but we don't let it restrict ourselves or try not to. So
What did you absorb about work by watching the adults around you?
There's important things about that to do with farming, actually, I seem to notice, and that's about you just work until it's finished. You don't stop until you've completed what you're doing. So you never give up.
Is that different to being an engineer?
No, but you can see it with people who work for us as well. That's a very key part of how to get success, is that you don't you try and avoid all failures, because you just make sure you if it is failing, you make sure you fix it and get to the end there. So working till 100 hours plus a week is something you can do, and you can get to the end of it.
Even as a kid, that was a standard way of...
Yeah. It was driving tractors from about 10 or 11, and probably shouldn't do that now. But and then and combines and all sorts of things. You just get used to that sort of attitude. You just finish what you're doing and make sure you're there. It's almost completely
compulsory.
It is compulsory. Yeah, it is. If you don't do that, the idea of not working a particular day because you have to get that thing completed and have to finish harvest, be with the rest of the guys, make sure they're there, push through. So it's an important thing. Yeah.
Given your multiple talents and your academic talents, as a kid, was there part of you that felt didn't quite fit farm life? Doesn't mean you didn't love it, but there was something that didn't quite fit?
No. Not at all. No, happy doing any angle of anything, really.
Great.
So it's
omnivore in terms of
like physical, practical things as well. But there was no element. I mean, perhaps a little bit more, different going into university and academia. That see that you then meet people from different areas of stuff, but different areas of life, so they perhaps haven't got quite that influence to do things from a sort of self-employed background. But all the way through, no, you just make the best of it.
What did engineering give you that farming didn't? Because you could have gone off to agricultural college, presumably. What pushed that choice?
It was you got to keep your mind. You've got to keep your mind busy. So there are one or two things going through there where you can be kind of frightened of doing nothing. So noticed over a period of time, the way you get, my sister gets it even worse, is probably hyperactivity, I just think, where you just can't, you have to be doing something, have to be thinking the next thing. A week on holiday in a hotel would be quite terrifying, because what are we going to do here? How do we do what we're going to build, what we're going to make?
How
Can't even sit on a beach, okay? So they'd be digging holes in the sand or something like that. So wanting to do engineering to learn as much as possible. And learning all the time, actually. So
it sounds that there was as much an interest in engineering, but a feel that if you taking a more academic route, essentially, if you got into Cambridge, you were interested in more academic route than going straight onto a practical course to fulfill a need to keep that machine running.
When you're in agriculture, you know an awful lot about it. So does an agricultural course give you as much as you could ever do? So even my dad said that. He said, no, you should go and do something else and learn some other things. So you're not coming back until you've done it.
gone away from the farm and done something else.
Yeah, no, it's it. And then just ran around and found enjoyment in that, and research and developing technologies and all sorts of things. So kept learning more things all the time.
I'm interested what you said, that you alluded just now to when you arrived at Cambridge, you felt that maybe there were some people that hadn't come from you said self-employed background, which I'm assuming means the farm, a practical work ethic.
Yeah.
Did your mind work differently, or did you see a difference from the...
It might do a bit. Well,
you noticed that other people didn't have something that you had?
Different experience. We've probably had more risk and more things exposed to. Yeah, that we've done more risks. Probably physical risk as well, but more things we'd been able to do. Yeah, so it was a great advantage. You could do a load of stuff that you just don't get an opportunity anywhere else. So you can then go off and do driving machines, all sorts of other things.
Give a certain confidence.
Do things, fixing stuff. Yeah. So I mean, when I was 18, we decided to build a replica GT40 as well. So we could just do that. Had the opportunity to do that, and did that.
I'm going to ask what a replica GT40 is.
Well, GT40 was a racing car from about the late 60s. It was a Le Mans touring car. Probably one of the last racing cars that you could kind of use on the road. And so I started that. Actually, my sister sort of kicked that off, and then they'll get involved. So there's a theme actually, but no, not that's being unfair. But she thought, I'd be great idea to do that. She had a vision. Okay. And then, do you want to take that on? Oh, yeah, okay. Well, I'll take that on. 5 years, or about probably about 18 months of work to do it over about 5 years. And built the car. Still got the car.
As a side project.
I must admit, I haven't used it since I built it. The fun was building it as well. So, yeah. So you kind of learn what you enjoy doing and where you fit in the whole scheme of things. So my sister starts things off. I kind of push, execute on them, and then we go. They're like, oh yeah, we'll pass it on to somebody else who then do the operation of it and all the other things. So yeah, and you just find out where you fit in life as well. So yeah, there's quite a few things.
So as somebody that I did a PhD myself, so I'm asking from my perspective as well. So you went afterwards to do a PhD in microengineering and nanotechnology. Now, in my experience, some people do a PhD because they're drawn towards something, and some people because they're stepping away from something. Where were you?
Oh, really? It's going to be simple then. I was looking at jobs, and they were all right. Didn't really excite me. And then I went, not really great. And then I went to Cranfield, met the sort of beauty parade of professors there, to 3 or 4, and they had various projects. And one guy was Roger Watmore, who is effectively a mentor as well, and it's really nice catching up with Roger. And he had a great project. So when it's nanotechnology, it was actually making little tiny motors and quite bigger motors, working out the principle of the ultrasonically driven motors. And he had this great project, and it was excellent because the money was as good as working outside. So we thought, hang on, no tax. And doing fun stuff, and I could handle that.
It was walking away from the milk round.
Yeah, Yeah, that wasn't very inspiring. Yeah, well, this is middle round. Did a few of those interviews. It was like, yeah. And it just captured it. I remembered I liked doing research in a master's project in thin film. So you know how they make thin film for aluminium. So we did some modelling on that, and I worked with another lecturer, I guess, there who was that was fun. And then I enjoyed that and went to do that. Thought, oh, hang on, research is quite fun, and technology and learning new things and doing stuff. So yeah, that kind of did reinforce that. So yeah, moments that made changes. That was the sort of thing. Remember what you like doing, and just do it.
Did you ever imagine a future version of yourself as an academic?
Yeah, could be. Yeah, could have happened. Perhaps liked doing. Oh, well, there's another thing. Liked doing stuff where you actually had a result in the end. So I did a lot of technology development as well afterwards. Some of those that you can make great things, but getting on to the next level where you actually made things, sold things, did things. And so that's leading into running a business after there, where it's quite nice getting to food businesses where you make things that everybody buys, meat, something sort of, you are becoming part of the whole thing rather than hitting a dead end, which you're doing a little bit. It's wonderful fun doing it, but the next thing is that you've
to commercialize high technology is a different journey.
It's a very long journey. I think one or two things have come through, but they're enormously long games. They're sort of 10, 20-year games for stuff. One of them's got through, but running your own business and doing that is a little more fulfilling in terms of how. So I could say it is. Yeah, it's good. And then that's the key part of it. You're actually taking it, selling it, making things that people are eating, and all the other sorts of things. So that
academic side, there's a lot of beginnings, but there wasn't.
Yes, yeah, you just justify it. Might be useful in the future.
And that didn't scratch your.
How do you take it? So I was always interested in then startups, spin outs. We did a couple of patents during the PhD as well, how they would be commercialized, how you take them forward to that, and that was always interesting. But it's really hard to do that. It's a long game to do that. Learned a lot about that.
Did you not have the patience for the long game? Do you think?
No, I do, but it's just. Got drawn back in, had something else to do. So yeah, so now that's part of the issue. Did get pulled back in, was doing consulting for about 10 years. So after PhD finished, I then worked in fiber optic device industry, doing these are interferometers that you use for looking at. It's probably best to describe why you have them. You look at the laser powers going down fiber optic cables, and so we're making a device that could see in like a meter for looking at all these laser powers. Great fun, lots of lovely technology, lots of things to do, optimizing things, and that was great. Worked for a guy called Paul Atherton, who unfortunately passed away since, and he was a real mentor actually in terms of startups. He left that, well, that was sold to American PLC. Corn PLC, and then that all collapsed after the fiber optic sort of collapse in 2000. Paul then became a angel investor in various technologies, and then I ended up working with him in a few other areas as well. So yeah, you meet people along the way. It's exceedingly important, and later on, he turned out to be a celiac as well. So he actually was eating our products that we were making. But yeah, you do get opportunities, and the interest to go there. When I was doing all this technology stuff, Rebecca was setting up our food business.
This is your sister,
my sister Rebecca. Yeah, and so she was doing that. We were doing, okay, come back to help set up a little production line for you.
So you've got your sister in the background.
Literally ringing me every hour. So it's that I can't do this other thing while I've got to go and help fix that sort of thing. So fix a production issue or something else. So it became I've got to come back and do that. But learning an awful lot along the way about going from fiber optics, robotics, to then helping companies set up their we were doing lithium-ion batteries, helping them do their I think it was an etching plant we did. We're building a pilot plant, which is something about the size of this room, where you're processing chemicals in there. And that's kind of getting into production engineering, which is something I didn't think I'd like, or did actually in the end. So great fun there, and that became massively useful in how to build an oat mill and all the other process things. So I was kind of dragged in, being snatched back into the orbit of my sister.
My question is there any area of knowledge that you don't like?
Not really. No. Well, it's just constant trying to.
Everything is interesting.
Everything's interesting in some level. Some things, not very good at maintaining things. I tend to get other people who are better at doing that, and organising stuff. I can be okay with that as well, but it's not my favourite thing.
Tell me about the object you've brought in, Philip.
Okay, so this is, how to say, it's not a unique object, but it is, and it's just following that sort of theme. I have many of these actually. I lose them regularly in airports because you think,
what is it? What have you got in your hand?
So this is actually a multi-tool. And it was something, actually, I remember meeting one of my friends who I work with in the battery company, and he said, "Oh, you've got one of those. I can see you're an engineer. So you go in as a consultant or contractor consultant. Oh, you got one." It's something I probably use absolutely every day. I can do some things. And if you like, I do the business is building on one level, but I still enjoy doing practical things as well.
What features does your multi-tool have? What's it got? What's it got?
It has a knife. That's the thing you tend to get taken away from you at the airport. So I have lost 2 or 3, and scissors and wire cutters and screwdrivers.
What's the favourite feature that you'll go back to every day? Are we screwdriving? Are we pincers?
Cutting, electronics. Yeah, so you might have little cutters on there. All the things. Yes. It's there for you when you need it at that time.
It's always in your pocket.
So pretty much always. Yeah, apart from where you're not allowed to have them. I did take it through security once, and they went, just have it back.
They knew how important it was.
So I don't want it. So it's something that enables you to do what you want to do, and it's important to be able to use your hands to be able to engage the whole thing. So it's I'm going to put it down now. Otherwise I'll be fiddling with it. I think your brain does work in multiple levels. Talking, seeing, obviously they're great working together, but also involving your hands.
Your brain works through your hands.
All senses. Always engage all senses if you can. And then you can get just memorable. You can learn things faster. You can do everything there. So how things work generally. And I think most people do work the same in various ways. It's slightly different, I'm sure. So quite fascinated with psychology and
100%.
Philosophy and all sorts of things. So
I love multi-tools, and I do use my hand. I don't keep one in my pocket, so that probably would be something unique to.
Perhaps not necessary. Yes, they are fairly weighty things.
So it sounds like, Philip, that coming home from the world of consulting back to the farm, it was a choice, but you were also called by interest, by your sister, by the starting up of a new business. Did it cost you anything to come back? Intellectually, business consulting that you had?
Cost is an interesting thing. Possibly. It also comes up financial cost. Yes, you actually, when you're thinking about you come back, that will be kind of you for good coming back as well. So there was a thought about that. Although I was already actually still living in the village, so it wasn't really a big deal. That it would be doing this mostly ongoing afterwards.
Has that proved to be the case?
It has to a certain level. I still keep I still keep really interested in lots of other things. I'll read
nanotechnology books.
Science and engineering and stuff. Scientific American. I'll read. I quite enjoy reading that. I think Phys.org is one I read, and also mentoring other people who are doing startups. So trying to help them set up their businesses as well, help them find. I've got a friend who used to work with me who is doing a startup in it's. How to explain this? It's a polymer that changes light, converts UV to visible lights, you can improve the efficiency of greenhouses. So helping her find just unlock parts of a business to be able to see that. Now, you never know how much you help, but somebody did it for me. And some words that you say to people that you never quite know which one's going to hit, but it really makes a massive difference to those other people there. And trying to pass on the benefit to other people, of mentoring other people.
So is that the legacy of Paul Atherton for you?
Yeah.
So what did he say? Did he say something that you still take with you?
Yeah, I can't remember them now, but they've gone in there somewhere. There's one or two things. I'll recall them some other time when they're pertinent. But yeah, they do. Yeah, lots of things. Yeah.
And so you like to be able to help other people take their ideas forward.
Yes. Yeah, it's important, and how to do that. What I've learned in business as well, which you don't see, scientists don't see. Things like a lot of startups think they're going to license their product and think their technology is wonderful. Somebody's going to take it on. Actually, there's one report says nobody's going to take on your stuff. They've got plenty to do. They don't want to take on your idea. They will happily take on a product that will help them along there, but they're not going to buy into it. So that never happens. Very, very rare and very difficult to attain that. You have to work with them and provide all the finished articles, all the stuff there for them. Even if it is some sort of licensing deal, they still have to get they want to acquire knowledge and goods really out of it and benefit. They haven't got a spare time for you for your own business.
That sounds like a brutal reality check for some people.
It's quite, yes. Normally learned about 10 years in or 5 years into the business. Oh yeah, nobody seems to be interested. Why don't you just make it a bit more complete as a package? Oh yeah, now they're a bit more interested.
So how other people need that kind of direction and guardrails to their ideas.
Yes, yeah, I think so. And we've all learnt it, but yes.
So people need to be told.
Be told. Just yes.
Nudge.
We need to understand it. I think told is a.
So in your business, Glebe Farms, you've chosen to control the entire chain from field to finished product. So to be clear, you grow the oats, you process them, and turn into products on the farm. What does that vertical integration of doing everything yourselves mean for how you carry success or failure?
How you carry successful failure? So right. So starting. Why? I mean, we started growing our own oats, and that was really came out of the. So this is Rebecca's idea that I joined in with, which is wanting to make food from things that we grew on the farm. And that is a theme that still carries on now, and it's still very important. Actually, it is a key element to it. That actually, hang on, we keep on coming back to that. I don't even have to think about it; it comes back. So that's where we ended up doing things very much like wanting to make them ourselves. Is a key part of the whole thing. So it's the reason of being there. Now, then we found an industry that. In gluten-free that kind of needed solutions as well, and we fortunately had them. We started doing gluten-free bread mixes, which were rice and potato starch. Rebecca made a great bread mix, which is actually Paul Atherton said he was saying, "Oh, become a celiac." We've been trying all these bread mixes, and I found this one that's really good, made by a company called Glebe Farm, and I went, "Oh well, that's the one we actually make." So it was really quite awesome. He said we tried a whole lot. So he did a very scientific approach because he was a scientist as well. And then he, they said that's pretty good.
Huge satisfaction.
And then we went, okay, well these are rice and potato starch. We can't really make them in Britain, but we can make oats. So Rebecca identified that. So pretty much first in Europe, we were the first in Europe to make gluten-free oats. Drove that, got. You meet the right people as well. But met some guys who helped us along with learning how to deal with food manufacturers. So yeah, I'm not really answering the question, but it's very key that we want to make stuff.
What is gluten-free oats?
So gluten-free oats are very pure oats. Now, so farming, it's like a seed crop of oats that is pure of all other other contamination.
So
And normally that doesn't happen. There's no reason for it to happen. You would have wheat and barley and
does
other
that
things
mean
in
oats
there.
going through a production line that only
No,
makes
this is the
oats, or is
field.
it harder?
This is in
in
the
the
field. So you have to
Okay.
do this in the field level. You don't start off with dirty stuff and clean it up. You start off with clean stuff and make sure it's good.
So there are special oats that you need. In the simplest terms.
We did have to look at varieties. We still do that. Still do get an awful lot involved in getting the right varieties for oat growing as well. You chat with people at the AHDB, which is kind of monitors the list of oat varieties, and talking with, which I think maybe tomorrow, even talking with seed growers who are developing new varieties, trying to inform them what we want. That's kind of like wider industry, but actually we also want that for effectively the long-term support of our farmers. So our relationship with farmers, we know a lot of farmers. We did organic farming as well, so we know organic farmers as well. And it's quite important that has become a real good side of it as well. I really enjoy talking with all our other farmers that supply us now. We outgrew what we could grow on our own farms. Great part of it. I still do all the buying with our farmers too, talking with them about just talking actually before we came in. I came in sitting outside the car, talking to other farmers about the stuff they're growing next year, what varieties we want to do, what's best for the oat mill. So it is a whole system. So that is the whole going through the whole system right the way from growing and growing it ourselves on our own fields with other farmers, what works for them, trying to make sure we're looking for the future and the long term there. So we're setting up, thinking like 5-6 years ahead all the time.
So I was going to ask you, which voice speaks loudest in your business now, the farmer, the engineer, or the entrepreneur? But it sounds like they're all speaking at the same time.
There's no difference between the whole things. I do like, one of the reasons I really enjoy it is creating new products, building new factories for doing other things as well. So I love R&D and NPD side. Commercial side, I enjoy talking to customers as well. So yeah, that's perhaps grown over the years more so, but it's still great to work out what people are doing.
Can I ask which one causes you the most trouble? Farmer, engineer, or entrepreneur?
Trouble. What's trouble?
Maybe
probably entrepreneur. Yeah, it's probably that's normally the most challenging. You can control the other ones, whether can't control that, but you just go, well, whatever. Yeah, definitely. Working with customers is good. Yeah, so it's just trying to build things up. You do have more challenges perhaps in commercial areas. Yeah,
sometimes entrepreneurs are full of really great ideas, and the ideas just generate all the time. Are you that type of entrepreneur?
I'm perhaps we're perhaps more push led. What we could do, we think would be really great for people to take on. So with gluten-free oats, a lot of the time we spent, we set it up in about 2009. That's when we originally started doing it. I'll blame Rebecca again. She actually probably kicked it off, she did. Okay, right, make it into reality. Made some oats. We worked with a few companies back then. I think almost all of them are still customers of ours as well. But that transition was, you can do this new product. It will be good for business, and it's worked. So that's great. And then we spent a lot of time. Then we took that after a few years, built a new factory. It was a huge step of great challenge as well. Built the whole oat mill, designed it. We built it all ourselves as well. We then went and took that to Europe as well, who hadn't used gluten-free oats at all. So we have to persuade celiac societies that it's okay, it's safe, and it works with them. And then persuade more companies. So we've just been at a trade show where we're talking to customers and we're trying to say, this will be great. We've developed another way of delivering oat milk as well. So you can use that in chocolate, dairy-free chocolate, and also for ice cream, various other things. And then persuading
offering the opportunity.
Persuading says you're persuading them against their will, but actually that there is a great opportunity to do this.
So what are you
and
selling?
It works,
into Europe?
and then you're developing.
Are you licensing technology?
No, we're selling good. We're selling goods to Europe. So we did an awful lot of export from about 2014. That's been trickier over the last 4 or 5 years. Customers made it very hard to do that, and especially we'd help set up companies in the gluten-free area. And now this is sort of translated to doing more vegan products. So you replace dairy with oat milk. And plant-based, well, yeah, oat milk or oat flour or various other things. So the innovation in new products is really fun, and how that comes and becomes more and more successful in different areas.
So Rebecca plays a huge part in the business.
Yeah.
Family changes the temperature of a room. How does family change the temperature of your business meetings?
Well, she doesn't actually get involved in that much. So the past 4 or 5 years, she decided to do other things. It's got a bit too businessy for her. She just like absolute creative.
She's the idea every 9 seconds.
Oh yeah, can't stop herself. Yeah, so she's got I think she said she's got about an hour before she gets bored on anything. So constant activity. Yeah, so and she produced so much. Very, she used to do a lot of trade shows in other countries as well. She's happy to set up and do a mission to Gulf Food, set up a stand there, have a go at this, whatever, see how it works. So she really wants to push frontiers all the time. And this is actually, when you start to get bigger, you have to focus on things. So it's not so many. You can't take the level of innovation.
It's not her sweet spot when we're trying to scale.
No, there's the scaling stuff. Yeah, it's all right, but whatever. Yeah, she wants to do the background stuff. So she's busy setting up lots of other things, lots of other sort of land use for our farms, caravan parks, all sorts of other things she does.
So the family business side of things isn't something where you're confronted a lot with your sister?
No, we get on well.
Oh, in a good way.
We get on right most of the time. We don't argue quite extensively, but we actually both know that we will always work together. So you always know the outcome even if you fall out, which is quite an unusual thing. But I think we were very close when we were young, and we and there's a thing trying to do with my own kids. How do you get children to work together? But we actually used to live together when we were about 13, 14, 15 when we used to go to school. So we lived a bit far away. So we did up an old house in that town, and then we just lived there alone. Of course, much the worrying about the neighbours having teenagers living on their own there. But we're fine. Yeah, so we just work together, look after each other, whatever.
So you lived with your sister on your own in a town, in a house, and went to school without your parents as middling teenagers?
Yeah.
That was quite unusual for your peer group.
Quite unusual. Yeah, Mum was pretty adventurous. She went to South Africa and got married and then came back again. We went to, where did we go to? We went to Vancouver because Rebecca was going around the world, met there. So she'd, so I just flew out there when I was about 16, and we did a 2-week tour around Western Canada. Thinking, what's my parents doing letting us do that? But it very But
age 14 and 15, you were in a house on your own in the town that you were at school?
We lived together, yes, it's fine. And we go out, go to the pub, go to drive off to Nottingham and go to clubs occasionally in the evening. That's pretty hard work when you've got to go back to school the next day. But yeah, it's just...
That sounds quite unusual.
Probably. We're talking about the 80s, 70s and 80s.
Even for the 70s and 80s, it sounds great fun. It sounds hilarious.
We were pretty free range. We were the last 2 of 4 kids. Maybe you take a slightly less protective view when you got a few more, a bit of backup.
Your parents were exhausted and just said, get on with it.
It just trusted us to get on with things and do things.
That really must have shaped your confidence in your own decisions.
It does, yeah. So it's very important to absolutely let people have free reign, empower them to do stuff.
Would you have let your own kids do that?
Yeah, they can do that.
You could have let them go off at age 14, 15
stuff. Yeah. So we found out my son Robert was hill walking in it was in Cairngorms or somewhere like that, and there was a big storm coming. He said, you can be all right there because it's red warning storm. I said, no, it's fine. We were getting shielded, but okay, right. If you get the mountain rescue out after
you weren't calling the mountain rescue. You trusted him to get on with it.
So as much adventure and as much freedom as you can give people. Obviously, you'd be trying to think if they can get in trouble as well, but prepare them, let them do it.
Nowadays, could you walk away from what you're making?
You'd set up stuff that's fairly orderly. Yeah, it's not possible.
But you're still not taking long holidays on the beach?
No, I'd have to do something else.
You do something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's lots of things. There's lots of things to do. People do say, "What would you do if you didn't do that?" And you go, "I think of something." Be fine, I'm sure.
Some of the challenges you faced in business are really quite daunting. Can you tell us about the court case you faced with Oatly?
That's right. Yes, yeah. So the commercial area does give you, if you like, about headaches that you can. You've got to make a decision whether you're going to stop or go on that particular area. You don't tend to get them in engineering. Other ones, that's more of a can I do it, and it's always more positive. But so that was with Oatly calling a trademark. Take us to court on high court on trademark. So that was about 2020. We had just started doing our oat drink, which was it's an interesting area. We'd done gluten-free oats, developed at mill, got that running really well, and we thought, okay, new challenge, let's have a go at some oat drink as well. Working with a great family in Italy. Back then, we were still good friends and worked with them as two. They so we made no drink, and then we thought, well, okay, we'll create a bit more of a brand for this rather than just and give it a life of its own, which is when we picked the name Pure Oaty. That obviously pinged up on the radar for Oatly's Google search scans for looking for things that were similar to Oatly, and they obviously wanted that space. So made quite a hard decision. I can run through the story. So that, if you like, there's a bit of a sequence to events there. So they do that. They trigger off that. Okay, anybody comes near you, push them away. Having seen, actually, I asked Paul Atherton as well, and he was saying, well, that's obviously signalling. Get near me, and I will punch you in the face. It's a bully in the playground. I will punch you in the face, yeah, and see if you hopefully you walk away, and that'll be great. And then I've got that space. So signalling is a great thing. I have had a bit of a past doing patents. I've got quite a few patents as well for things, and you kind of realise that game doesn't give you a license to print money. It gives you a license to spend money and protect that space a little bit if you can. So you can see kind of what they're trying to do. The attitude was they could have done that attitude. They could have done that a lot better. How they run that, and they sort of came in with I think they were at a particular high point and high confidence level. That's the best way to put it. So they thought they came in all guns blazing. They could do anything. Yeah. So we put in our trademark application, and they came, well, we're going to block that. They go, okay, well, whatever, carry on then. And they went, okay, well, we're going to take you to high court then. Set that up. Possibly forgot all about it. Busy doing other stuff, but carried on doing that and put their lawyers onto attack mode and in that sort of thing. And I thought, well, so the decision whether to run with that, knowing the costs are going to be high, you're not going to recover those costs. But what do you do at that point? So I do speak to a lot of people about a similar situation, trying to mentor them through it as well. So you do get a decision. Do you want to spend this money on that? Before that, I just built a milk plant as well with our Italian friends. We'd built our oat milk plant to develop it. And I thought, well, one of the key defining things is what would I feel like if I didn't take this on? I could do it. So had to, really. You have to react to the bully in the playground that comes up and punches you in the face. You've got to punch them back. Because otherwise you'll say to yourself... Otherwise, who are you in the end? So and I'll forgive that. You can back away, and sometimes it's far better to do so. But if you have a chance, it was a clear sign that we'd probably prevail in the end, and why not? It's another experience as well. I know that sounds very strange. I can't not do it, and it's another experience. It's another opportunity to learn about law. It's not really the general things that people think about, but it actually that's sort of reflected on it at the time, thinking, got to do it, can't not. And I spoke to my professor, Cranfield Roger, and he said, well, I knew you were going to do it straight away, which is the sort of thing you would do. So very predictable as well. Excellent. And that's a long journey. You spent an awful lot of time, probably a year and a half doing it, thinking about it, talking to you, setting up all the case and all the other sorts of things. You won. Have we won? Yeah, it was very good. Yeah, judge saw you. So you're never quite sure though. You get to that point at the end there, winning it. but it was the best thing I did. So trying to trust your instincts as well is another key point about business. How do you, that thing, if you'd backed away, it probably would have been fine. We could have just changed the name to something else. But the support we got for doing that as well was amazing. It was really, really kind of heartwarming. We had some lovely people who just said, right, yeah, this is unfair. But quite often it's so easy to go, I could just walk away and not get involved in this sort of thing. But I realised I couldn't actually do that. So,
what did winning not fix?
The law doesn't really help you that much, but actually the support we got by doing that and and then we spent a lot of time trying to explain the case and then put our marketing stuff over and have fun with it afterwards. That was an important bit. That was actually slightly more worrying. Can we do that right at the end and do
to tell the story in a way that was
tell the story that
true.
meant that went through, not play a victim or anything like that. Because we weren't really. We just we wanted to make sure that people knew what they were dealing with. Okay, so then that's trying to and that we were stronger than we perhaps apparently would appear at the time when they took on. And it was really effective. I mean, Oatly were also building a factory in Peterborough, which was going to be Britain's large, even including dairy factories, going to be an enormous factory. And it may have helped them to decide not to. That it just became. I'd like to think that's like that, maybe, but probably wasn't really. Or maybe, but it was important. That would have been a problem for us, and it could have been, certainly damaging.
It sounds like it created the winning created momentum.
It created momentum. Yeah, it was probably the best money I ever spent, to be honest, in the end.
Even though
you couldn't see that from the initial time. So sometimes just follow your instincts and go with that. It's that little feeling in your gut thinking, oh, I don't know if I could do that. But actually, sometimes you've got to be doing that despite people going, well, a lot of time, a lot of worry there. Yeah. And unfortunately, the background, so all that stuff I've done in the background in patents and other things, got friends who are patent partners in patent firms. Okay, it's slightly different but similar. They could help me find the right people, and So I had one friend who does patent. She's a partner in patent firm, and she said, "I can't believe you got into managing IP, which is their sort of journal." Because I've been doing it for 20 years, I've never even got a sniff. So we got on there. And it just became an important case. And it's so complicated looking at trademarks. And people don't really think about them. They just think they exist forever. And how they come to be and how that position in the world does. And I think it's very important to stand up for what you believe in the end and not be bullied and just go for that. Now, it's a time-consuming activity. You can't take on every single fight.
Yeah.
So that's not worth it. But sometimes you've got to remember when you think it's wrong, you probably ought to do the right thing.
From the outside, your life and your career and your different ventures look very full. What still feels unfinished?
Everything. No, there's loads of stuff. Yeah. Let's say it's all about looking forward all the time and never looking back.
You just see lots of unfinished projects.
It's all done quite a lot in the last 10 years. So it's and learnt a lot of stuff. And then you can think how much have I learnt this week, but I don't. Limited memory is probably the best thing to have. So you don't really consider, can't remember what I had for breakfast, yes, can. But apart from that, what am I going to do for the next 2 to 3 years? That's what worries me the most. Have I got that? I've got something to do. No, have I got something to do that's going to be useful and worthwhile and do the next thing? And which one's going to be of interest? That's all I'm thinking about most of the time.
When you think about the future of the farm, what do you want to protect?
We've got. I think we've built an important thing to do with sustainability. So it's very important for me that we're producing things in the UK from UK farmers. So we put a lot into our farmers who grow for us. We spend a couple of £1 million a year with them in helping them develop that. So that community of farmers, working with them to develop it. making things in Britain. I always feel that Britain doesn't do enough. It's far too much trading, and nobody makes anything here at all. So being a successful, well, I'd have to consider successful. Being a SME that keeps on going, keeps on growing, is a really important thing, and also sustainability in our business as well. So that's personal.
What does that mean for you?
Personal crusade for me. I think from the science background, we do worry about climate change. Stuff is going to cause massive problems to farming, and it is going back to farming again. That we can see it already. I always think we've moved about 150 miles further south, so that we're getting kind of where that you would have done on the south coast. Now we're getting that in where we are in Huntingdon, and that's going to carry on going till we go further and further, where it's now pretty arid. We're in Suffolk or Essex.
So just on the border, but
just
Suffolk.
On the border.
Yeah,
Right on the border there. So this will become an arid place. We don't get a lot of rainfall here
already.
So how are we going to manage that? So doing my bit in that area is important. Why I do it, and then working with what we've got to generate steam, so we can run our flaking mill with no fossil fuel in steam and electricity during the year, and have surplus then we can use on our oat mill. So building on that and growing that's personal crusade. Is that another one where that's probably another one where a lot of the time it's not economically viable, but it's very, very important to me to do that, to protect that and to do that. So would I move somewhere else? Only if I could do the same thing there. Would I set up another? Yeah, we could do a similar thing. So those are the important bits that I really think make a difference. Sustainability, British farming, good quality products. We find our oats taste really nice as well, and that's why actually they are good. So all those factors that we built up over the period of time, which were kind of side games. Perhaps they weren't. Perhaps they were actually the mainstream that actually influenced the drive. So who knows?
Do you want the next generation? You've got 2 children. Do you have any ambitions for the next generation to carry this on in any way, the same way, differently?
Well, succession. They might do. I don't burden them with that though. Yeah, so if they want to, they probably will do. But whether they need some time to escape and whatever, come back on orbit.
Circle around back.
They possibly will do. Yeah, but they need to learn something else before they come back. So there's no dropping people straight into things.
Just like with you.
Yeah, I think, and most family businesses do. Well, when they do it well, they do that. Yeah, so they will let people go off and find things, and you always kind of think. So looking at, if you like, the farm, there was always a great love of it. I didn't want to get. It was. I worked in America. Yeah, there was always a bit of I know where home is. So there is a definite place you want to be, and even though we don't do the farm is that's quite an esoteric thing. It is where we grew up, but even those things were created while we were alive. We didn't actually move to the farm. Dad only bought it in 1970. I was born in 73, and my sister Rebecca was born in 70. I think almost the time they moved there. So we weren't sentimental about exactly where. We even actually, so there's even quite an interesting story that we actually bought the farm that one line of our ancestors used to be in, and it's a 20-acre field that they managed to live off, 14 of them, yeah. They're nice.
So if your kids feel that the farm is home, then you've done your job.
Doesn't have to be that. That I don't worry about even that. As long as they're all right and doing well and successful, but don't have to be happy and successful. Successful in what they want to do.
Happy is good too.
Happy is a long-term thing that you get from that. You can't be happy and then not success is I think is wrapped together, those two things.
There's
a lot of difficulties in being happy and successful to do that. Sometimes those challenges, get you down, but you know that you're going to get the other side of it.
Well, you clearly have. Philip Rayner, thank you very much.
Thank you.